Hello folks, it's Monday morning. It was quite a weekend, especially yesterday. The weather's not been great, and went down to check on everything up at... everything up at... That doesn't make sense, does it? No. We went down to Walk and Drain to check on the sheep, and sadly our lamb that was born over a week ago had died. Just died overnight, had no idea why. So we caught the mum, the owl, and found out she got mastitis, which is, so it's the second sheep that we've now got with mastitis, which meant she hadn't got any milk, which meant that the lamb had just not got enough milk and it died. This is horrible. It's only we've been doing the whole sheep thing for 3 years now. It's only the second lamb we've lost. So that was pretty sad. So that involved quite a lot of running around, sorting things out, backwards and forwards, and getting some medicine and stuff like that. And then in the afternoon, a friend of mine had a cow stuck in a bog, so ended up going and helping out with that. And it was just one of them days. I think we started off at about 7:30, heading off to Walk and Drain, and finally sat down just after 9 o'clock in the evening. It was just that kind of day. So I've got nothing done over the weekend in the barn, apart from a little bit of clearing up. But this morning I've spent a bit of time just tidying out everything into the end room again. So everything that's in here is in here. There's the underfloor heating kit. All the pipes are out now, out of their boxes. That's the manifold in there. Clips, and I've mopped the floor all the way through. Just a light mop with just some clean water, just to get all the dust off. Simply because those clips that are in there, those metre long lengths of clips, they're all put on with like double-sided tape. So the Celotex has got to be fairly clean, so that they don't just come off. There's no good at it all being dusty. So just a light go over with a damp mop. It's nearly dry now, so I've just checked all the pipe work again, and that's all good. So my next plan is to start getting the clips down. Now, what have I done with my drawing? I spent a while looking for my drawing this morning and then couldn't find it, and then found it a little while ago. Here it is. Here we go. So that's the pipe layout plan. So it's quite faint though. You see the pipe work going up and down this way here, and there's lines going that way. That's where the clips go. So, and they're about a metre apart, so there'll be 4 across there. 2, 3, 4. And then the pipes are running in a different direction here, so the clips are going to go the other way. And then this section again goes the other way. So it's going to take a little bit of sorting out. So that's the next job. Make sure this is all dry. I think most of it's dry. There was a little bit of rain came in there through this back opening, which hasn't been rebuilt yet. So I just got a tarpaulin up there now to stop the rain coming in. So that's a little bit wetter than everywhere else. But I think I'm pretty good to go with getting the clips down. So this is the start of the underfloor heating system. Hopefully it'll go smoothly. Never done it before. How hard can it be, eh? So yeah, hopefully no more sheep dramas today. I've been up to Walk and Drain, nothing new. We're up to 12 lambs now. We've got 4 here, 8 at Walk and Drain, and no, actually we've got 5 here and 7 at Walk and Drain. Plus the dead one makes 13. We were due 29, so there's another 16 to come. Yeah. So hopefully that'll all go well. But yeah, just going to crack on with getting clips down for now. There's a double-sided tape on there. It's remarkably strong, actually. And the beauty of this insulation is it's got 100mm grid marks on it, so, and I've laid it square to the walls, so I can follow these lines and know that I'm at the right position. Handy. And then they click into each other so that all of these slots are in properly spaced then. Well folks, I've got the first circuit laid out. My calculations haven't quite worked out. I thought I would be able to get that loop there right the way up there and back. But I think it's probably because I've not really taken into account just how far away from the manifold this particular circuit is. But that's okay, because what I can do is I can extend this circuit up into there, just loop that into that gap that I thought was going to get filled, and the same with the circuit that's going to come in here. At the end of the day, I've got enough pipe for 80 square metres and my floor area is around about 74, so it will work out. Just some slight adjustments as we go. But that's pretty good. I'm pleased with how it's gone down. Where the pipe doesn't quite sit down in the clip, so you can just put these staples in. So I'm going to start again now on the next circuit. I've got the pipe ready to go, so I'll feed one end through the wall there. The manifold is going to go on the wall up there, so I'll poke my pipes through there, label it up which zone it's going to be. Those two are zone A, and then I'll start running them. Hello folks, it's been a busy few days. I actually did some work yesterday. Well, I did some paid work yesterday. I re-roofed or refelted a dormer roof for somebody, so had a day away doing that. It's been really busy with the lambing side of things. We're now up to, we've got 11 lambs here at Ladyfield, and we've got 9 at Auchendrane. So there's another 4 to come at Auchendrane and another 2 to come here, and then we're finished. But it's been busy. We've had a few lambing issues which we've not had before. So there was things to deal with and lessons to learn and new things to do, which is great. But the barn, all the underfloor heating pipe is down right the way through. I'm really pleased. I've still got, you see these staples. I'm going to put a few more of them in as yet, just to hold everything down super tight before it gets screeded, which should be happening next week. But the first thing I need to do before that happens is we've got to pressure test the entire system, make sure there's no leaks anywhere. The chance of there being a leak on the actual pipework is negligible, simply because they're continuous pipes, there's no joins in anything. The place you're really testing for, I suppose, is at the manifold. So this is where all the various circuits, there's 4 circuits in all, so there's 8 pipes there, the start and end of each circuit. These are obviously all going to be trimmed down. So I've got to build the manifold. That's some of it together there. There's a few other bits of the pump's got to go on it, and it's all got to be fixed and tightened. And then it's going to go on the wall over here. Now these walls are going to have Celotex insulation between the stud-work, and then it's got an inch of Celotex over the top of that as well. So I can't just fix the manifold to the stud-work, and it needs to be fixed at the same position as the finished wall. So I've got some 25mm ply, which will be the same thickness as the Celotex that's going over. So I'm going to put a board of plywood on there, and then I'll cut a piece of plasterboard the same size as that board, and then I'll fix the manifold to that. And then when I come to do this wall, I'll just cut around that with my Celotex and my plasterboard, and then tape it and plaster it, and you'll never know. So that's my job today. First thing I'm going to do is get the plywood cut and get that fixed so that I can start assembling the manifold and getting it in place. That's the first job. Right, after several delays for various reasons, including deliveries and feeding lambs and running away to a sheep emergency on a neighbouring farm, I'm back, and I have got the board on, and I've put a bit of plasterboard on, but I've cut the plasterboard deliberately 50-ish mil smaller than the plywood. That means that when I come to actually plasterboard this wall, I've still got a good decent fixing for the plasterboard, especially this side, because there's going to be nothing really to fix to the right of that. That's why that's smaller. And I've also obviously put the insulation in behind it now, so hopefully now I can just get that fixed on. It's heavy with that pump in place, I tell you. Goodness me. Yeah, get that fixed into place and levelled up. Okay, keep it as far across as I can. Yeah, that'll do. And then I've got to start connecting the circuits up. Right, I'm going to start. Well, I've got the first loop in. I'll show you how I've done it. So we've got, that's a B, and that's a B. So I'll mark them further down because when I cut the end off, I cut the letter off. That's that one and that one. Yep. And that one. That's the one I want to go to the back. These are really quite shapeable, these pipes. You bend them a particular way and they just kind of stay there. Right, the battery's run out on the microphone, so I'll switch over to the internal mic. I don't even pick that up, but the martins are back. It's where you tweetering away upstairs in their nest. I don't know whether they've built a new one or whether it's the one they used last year, which they rebuilt after I'd demolished the roof really quickly. Right, so nut and olive go on the pipe, then this insert goes in the pipe. Push that into it, goes no further. And then place a line in it. Better. Tighten it up. That's it. Pretty good. Same with the next one. I'm just going to cut a lump off that anyway, it's way too long. That's it. sorts of debris flying down here, then birds upstairs. This will be there last year, I'm afraid. Once the windows and doors are in, they won't be getting in anymore. I feel a bit guilty, like, really. They've probably been doing that for 200 years. Oh, there we go. That's the whole thing piped up. Looks fairly neat, doesn't it? So now I've got to get into a position where I can pressure test it, which I'm going to have to read up about. But I believe we're going to attach a hose here and then fill each loop independently and have another hose on here which will go outside, and then we can watch the water flow through the loop and back out. So we'll shut 3 loops off, open this one, and then run the water through that loop and out of that hose until there's no more air coming out. Once we know there's no more air coming out, then we can shut that off. That should be full up. Then we'll shut that down again. Then we'll open the next one up, and we'll do that to all 4 of them. And so that way we know there's no air in the entire system. And then we can put it under pressure. So that's the next stage. Right folks, so I have managed to connect a hose to the washing machine outlet in the porta cabin. It's our nearest source of water. And I've put another hose on here, which is a drain valve. So the valve that's going to the water supply, or the pipe rather, is going to go onto this tap connector, hopefully. Be a tight fit, I'd imagine. Right, so now shut all of these valves. Make sure they're shut as well, so nothing can come out that way. And we'll leave this one open. In fact, we'll actually take that cap off so we know which one we're doing. So now we're going to go in here and fill this loop, these 2 pipes. That needs to be open, that needs to be open. So the water will come in, go through the 2 pipes, back up here, into here, out of this hose, and when it stops blowing bubbles out, I'll know that it's full up, there's no more air in the system. That's the plan. Let's see what happens. Right, into the porta cabin. There's Lammy. That's our pet lamb. His mum had mastitis, so couldn't feed her. Right, let's put you up there for a second. We're going in behind the back. Going behind the back of the washing machine now. kink in the pipe I'm going to get rid of. Right, there's water on. That is away. Oh, we've got a leak already. Why is there water coming out of there? There shouldn't be water coming out of there. Surely that's in the off position. Maybe it wasn't all the way in the off position. Look at that. Right. I don't know whether I caught that one up with the camera, but this valve here was very slightly, let it be down, this valve here was very slightly open, hence water pouring out of there. So that's something I'm going to have to deal with. Meanwhile, the loop should start filling. Oh, something's happening. There's water coming through the flow meter at the top anyway. In fact, they're all bouncing slightly. Which is good. Lots of air bubbling around. The pressure side nearly 2 bar already. Anyway, I just got to wait to fill up 100 metres of pipe actually. Oh, look at that, goodness me. That's running already. Doesn't look like there's much in the way of air coming out of there. This is good news. I'll put that up on a bit of wood so I can see it. It sounds like there's a lot of air moving around in here at the moment though, so I think I'm going to leave it running for a while. I'll give it 5 minutes and then I'll work my way across to the next one. That way I'll be certain there's no air in it. I filled the first loop after having gone for a cup of tea and come back and found the hose had fallen off the washing machine connection. So I'm now doing the second loop. Got this bucket of water and you can see just blowing air out at the moment. Quite a nice way of knowing when all the air's out. Do you mind? Duck, off you go. There you go, I've got water coming through now, but still plenty of air bubbles coming. Duck! No one trying to direct the film here. Yeah, you can see them bubbles coming up still. Have to wait till they've all gone. It's working. It's going to take maybe 15 minutes. per circuit to expel all of the air, so I won't subject it to all of that. I'll just come back when it's done. Okay, the loops are all filled now, and so it's time to pressure test it. I've been lent this bit of kit, which is a Rothenberger pressure tester by Kenny. Kenny's a plumber whose surname he doesn't want involved because he doesn't want any more work. He's trying to retire. But Kenny, thank you if you just happen to watch this. So so far the pressure is up to 4 bar. We've got to get it up to 6, which is just a simple matter of pumping this handle. Pump the handle, and it forces water in, and up it goes. Hard to do and keep the camera steady. There we go, 6 bar. Turn that all off. So that basically pumps water up this pipe, which I've attached to the inlet on there, and there's water in the tray, so you fill the tray up. Oh, well, that's interesting. That appears to be the pressure valve that's leaking. Well, that's a bit disappointing. Oh, let's put the camera down and do something about that.